All right, so this is our very first module for your new virtual online UCall course. And for your class, the very first module is meaningful work. Now, for this module, there are three components. You're going to be writing a meaningful work statement, and you're going to be creating an Odyssey plan, and then you're going to reflect on what you've learned about yourself. The purpose of this module is to really start thinking about your ultimate career goals and what work you consider to be meaningful, which is, of course, a very individualized thing. Your purpose is going to look different from the person who would have been sitting next to you or different from mine. What you're going to do is you're going to have a statement at the end of this module that gets to the heart of what you feel your purpose in life is. Now, here's the thing that you need to keep in mind about purpose. All of us have purpose, and we don't just have a single purpose. We have multiple purposes, if you will. Professionally speaking, personally speaking, we all have different things that we're called to in our lives, and that is wonderful. For this particular activity, what I want you to do is really focus on your professional purpose. So again, while you have multiple things in your life that you are compelled to do, which is fantastic, it's part of what makes our humanity so interesting and so exciting. What I want you to do here is I want you to think about, professionally speaking, what is your purpose right now? And I'm going to walk you through that. But before we do that, this is part one, of course. What you need for part one to write this statement is blank piece of paper. And then you need pencil and pens to write on. The activity itself is linked here in Canvas. You are in the first part, which is watching the video. And the other thing that I want to do before we even get into the activity is that I want to show you a couple of examples. So I'm going to start by showing you my meaningful work statement. My meaningful work statement is, I am a maximizer, and this means that it is my purpose in this world to see the potential in college students and help them realize not only their potential, but their individual goals, both large and small. So this captures what I feel is my purpose in a professional setting. So it's the thing that I want to do. It's what matters to me. You'll see here there's a link to more examples. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And I want you to look at these statements before we get into the activity, just to make sure you have an idea of what I'm going to be asking you to do. So what I've done here is I've collected meaningful work statements from years prior. I've looked at former students and what they have written as their own statements, and there have been hundreds. I went back one semester to the spring of 19, so technically 2 semesters ago, to really collect some of the statements that I felt were pretty powerful. The very first one, I will guide and prepare college students by using my ability to organize, encourage, and motivate others to find purpose in life. If that sounds familiar, it's not a coincidence. This particular statement is Taylor's, who, before she became my TA and your TA, she was one of my students and has decided that a career in higher education is her path. And so she's getting to the heart of what she wants to do, why that profession is her ultimate goal. And it's because she has this really amazing ability to organize and to encourage other people and to help people as they are discovering their own path. But you can see the one below it is about caring for others and valuing teaching. And because of those things, this person wants to inspire, love, and educate young children. You can scroll down. I will use my talents in caring for others, dealing with pressure, and teaching to help advocate for and comfort young children, teenagers, families, and disaster victims. The next one down talks specifically about overall health and wellness and supporting veterans and military personnel. We drop down again. We've got someone who's interested in counseling and helping people who are in an emotional crisis. The one below it is somebody who's talented in computers and they want to help eliminate cyber threats. Below it is you've got a student who has a love for sports and wants to think about how he can take that love for sports and really motivate and encourage young children who dream of helping others, right? Giving people a vision for young athletes. Then you've got, if you drop down below it, somebody who has a love for fashion and wants to help people express themselves. You've got Down here at the very bottom, somebody who's interested in business and entrepreneurship. Not all of these sentences are perfect. And I think that's what I really want you to know is that you don't, when you write your statement, when we get to that part of this video and this experience, your statement does not have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be grammatically beautiful or any of that. It just needs to be the thing that captures your purpose. All right, so let's go back and let's click on this meaningful work activity sheet. And then you're going to open it. Now this activity comes from Bill Johnson as a instructor at UNC Greensboro. He's a friend of mine, and he had created this meaningful work statement several years ago, and I have taken what he has done and modified it. So it is a modification of his original meaningful work activity. What I want us to do is, over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to walk you through this activity, and on your blank piece of paper, you're going to start jotting down the different responses to each category. At different points, I'm going to ask you to pause the video because I want you to take a couple minutes to think about your responses and write them down. I'm not going to pause the video, I'm just going to keep it going, but that's just so you know, that's what I'm going to ask you to do. So the very first section is your talent section. Now, one of the things that I think we just collectively as people struggle with is to acknowledge the things that we are good at. There's almost this presumed arrogance that comes with that, but that's not the case. What I want you to do here is I want you to lean into your strengths. You all have them as individuals, so I want you to highlight them. I want you to acknowledge that there are things that you as an individual are good at, because it's my opinion that that's what we do in life. We find the things that we are good at and we lean into them. It is, from my perspective, the thing that makes life meaningful. It's the thing that gives us joy. So what I have done here is I have combined a list, taken Bill's suggestions and come up with a few of my own. It is 3 columns of a lot of potential talents that you as an individual might possess. What I would like for you to do is I'd like for you to go through here and think about the different words that really capture your individual talents. So what you are good at. That is what I want you to do right now. I want you to take a couple minutes, in just a second. I want you to hit the pause button. I want you to go through these words, and I want you to write down 5 and no more than 10, so 5 to 10 words that you believe are your personal talents. All right, so once you have done that, now we're going to scroll down and we're going to head into the interest section. All right, now I want you to think about the things that you are passionate about. What gives you energy? What do you enjoy? What do you want to learn more about? Similar to before, I've given you 3 columns, and these are potential interests that you might have. 3, no more than 5 is what I want you to identify here. If it's not on this list, don't stress, just write it down. It doesn't have to be on this list to be a part of this assignment. So here I want you to drop down a couple lines on your paper, write interest, and then take a minute to pause this video and then write down 3 to 5 potential interests. Once you've done that, now I want us to scroll to audience. So when I say audience, I'm referring to the people that you see yourself working with in some way. Everyone talks about helping professions. There are certain professions that are just deemed helpful. So things like nursing and social workers and educators, certainly helping professions. But at the end of the day, no matter what line of work you pursue, you're going to be performing a service for someone. You're going to be doing something to help other people. It's just the way that it works. I want you here to think about who you would like to work with, who you would like to provide a service for, who is the specific audience that you and your work are going to benefit in some way. I have given you, again, 3 columns of potential audiences. Take a moment, pause, and then write down 3, no more than 5 potential audience members that you would like to support in some way. All right, lastly, action words. This is my favorite part, but it is sometimes the harder of the 4. Action words are the words that other people are going to use to describe you and the things that you might describe to other people of the work that you do. So in the future, one day, I might tell someone I know that I once taught this particular student and now they do this. So what is the action word that I associate with you as a professional? What do you want people to associate with you? When people mention you, do you want people to describe that you have improved something, that you have inspired someone, that you have imagined, or that you have coordinated, or that you have delivered or designed? What are the action words that you want to be known for doing in your work? Pause this video, 3 to 5 of these, and then let's move forward. All right, now you have put together a list of 5 to 10 potential talents that you believe you possess. You have put down 3 to 5 interests. You have put down 3 to 5 potential audiences that you'd like to support. And you have put down 3 to 5 action words. Now I want you to look at this big list. That's a lot of words. They are not obviously going to all go into your statement. Now I want you to go through category by category and really start to think about, out of all of these words, what matters the most? What is the most important to me? And then I want you to start cutting down. Cut down until you get to a place where you've got a collection of words, you've got a specific population you want to support, you've got an action word you want to do good things for, you've got a talent that you believe that is your top talent. Maybe you have a couple talents, that's fine. What are these just main things? What are the things that get to the heart of what matters the most to you? You're going to take that information and you're going to write your meaningful work statement. So again, now you're going to look at all those words and you're going to eliminate the words that certainly are important to you or they wouldn't be on this piece of paper, but now you're going to eliminate the words that mean a little less than another one. So you're going to really get to the heart of, out of all of these words, what matters most? What is the most important thing that I have in front of me? What do I want to do more? What do I want to do? Who do I want to help? And of course, just for you to think about why this matters to you, why it's important to you as a person. The next thing that's going to happen is you're going to write that statement. And to do that, to try to streamline this for you, I have given you sample templates. So if you get stuck, which you very well could, this is a hard process. I understand that. I have given you templates to use. So if you get stuck, start here. Look at that third one on the paper. I will use my talents and gifts in, and this is where you would insert your top talent or talents to, and then that's where you'd put your action word. So empower, build, create, cook, design, whatever the action word is. And then your audience. So what audience do you want to support? So it might be, I want to use my talents and gifts in managing money to, your action word could be teach, and your audience could be young children how to think about budgeting. That's just an example. So you could actually just take those words and plug them into a template. That's completely fine. You also can go rogue and write your own statement. This part is completely up to you. If you go back to the Canvas page, you'll see that my statement is rogue. It is not a template, but I needed to start with a template the first time I did this and had to flesh this out. If you go to those sample meaningful work that statements that I've showed you, you'll see that a lot of these are templates. They're going to look similar because these are students that just took the template, and that is fine. That's why they're here. Once you have written that statement that describes the work you want to do, you're going to click on this box and it's going to take you to where you'll submit this statement in Canvas. Now, mine looks differently because I'm your instructor, but for you, you're going to see a text box. And this text box will be where you just type in your statement and then you hit submit. And that's worth 25 of the 50 points for the meaningful work activity. Sound good? All right, that's part one. In just a second, you're going to finish part one and then you're going to scroll down to part two and we will do the Odyssey plans.